You're not losing because you're unlucky. You're losing because you're undisciplined. Every day you wake up, and without realizing it, you make small decisions that slowly destroy your future. Not in one big failure, but in tiny invisible moments. The alarm you snooze, the work you delay, the promises you break to yourself. And the scary part, no one sees it, but it's costing you everything. Discipline is not something people talk about honestly anymore. They'll tell you to stay motivated. They'll tell you to follow your passion. They'll tell you to just believe in yourself, but they won't tell you the one thing that actually determines your future. Your ability to do what you don't feel like doing, because that's where most people fail. Not in talent, not in intelligence, not in opportunity, but in the quiet moments when there's no pressure, no audience, no reward. Just a choice between comfort and growth. And most people, they choose comfort again and again and again, until one day they wake up and realize their life didn't go the way they imagined. Here's the brutal reality. You don't suddenly fail in life. You slowly drift into it. It starts small. You say you'll wake up early, but you don't. You say you'll work hard, but you delay. You say you'll change, but you repeat the same habits day after day. You break trust with yourself, and every time you do that, you weaken something inside you. Not your body, not your skills, your identity. Because discipline isn't just about actions, it's about who you become. Every time you avoid discomfort, you train your mind to run from challenges. Every time you choose easy, you become weaker. And the worst part, it feels normal. Scrolling for hours feels normal. Procrastinating feels normal. Quitting feels normal. Because you've done it so many times, your brain thinks this is who you are. But it's not. It's just who you've been practicing to be. Let's go deeper. Most people think discipline is about forcing yourself, waking up at 5 a.m., working nonstop, grinding 24/7. That's not discipline. That's temporary intensity. Real discipline is much darker. It's quiet. It's boring. It's repetitive. It's doing the same thing every single day, even when you feel nothing, no motivation, no excitement, no energy, just commitment. And that's exactly why most people never build it. Because it's not glamorous. No one claps when you stay consistent. No one praises you for showing up daily. No one sees the internal battles you fight. But those battles, they decide everything. Right now, there are two versions of you. The one you are today and the one you could become. The difference between them is not luck. It's discipline, small actions, repeated daily. That's it. Not one big breakthrough, not one viral moment, not one lucky opportunity. Just small, consistent, uncomfortable choices. But here's the problem. You've trained yourself to avoid discomfort, and without realizing it, you've built a life around ease. You choose what feels good now, instead of what builds your future. You chase dopamine instead of purpose. You want results, but you avoid the process, and that contradiction, that's what's destroying your future. Think about this honestly. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow. I'll be consistent from Monday. I just need motivation. But tomorrow never comes. Monday never changes anything. And motivation? It disappears the moment things get hard. So what happens? You stay stuck. Not because you can't win, but because you won't stay disciplined long enough to see results. And slowly, something dangerous happens. You start lowering your standards. You accept less from yourself. You stop trying as hard. You convince yourself, this is just who I am. I'm not that disciplined. I can't stay consistent. That's the real trap. Not failure, but identity. Because once you believe that, you stop fighting. And when you stop fighting, you lose. Not instantly, but gradually, silently, until one day you look at your life and realize you had potential, you had time, you had chances, but you didn't have discipline. This is where everything begins to fall apart. Not in one big moment, but in the daily decisions no one sees. And if you don't fix this now, your future won't be built by your dreams. It will be shaped by your lack of discipline. Let's continue, because now comes the part most people don't want to hear. Your life right now is a direct reflection of your discipline, not your intentions, not your goals, not your dreams, your daily behavior. That's it. If your life feels stuck, if you're behind, if you're not where you want to be, it's not because life is unfair. It's because somewhere, repeatedly, you chose what was easy over what was necessary. This is the harsh truth. Nobody is coming to save you. No mentor will magically appear. No opportunity will fix your habits. No motivation will carry you forever. Because even if you get a chance, without discipline, you will destroy it. Look around. How many people start something, full of energy, full of excitement, and then disappear. Gym memberships wasted, business ideas abandoned, dreams left unfinished, not because they couldn't do it, but because they couldn't stay consistent. Discipline is the difference between starting and finishing, dreaming and achieving, talking and becoming. And without it, you live in a cycle. Start, stop, regret, repeat over and over again. And here's where it gets even darker. Every time you quit, you don't just lose progress, you lose belief in yourself. Think about that. Every broken promise you make to yourself is recorded in your mind. I'll wake up early. You didn't. I'll start today. You delayed. I won't waste time. You did. And your brain notices. It starts saying, you don't do what you say. You're not reliable. You always quit. And slowly, your self-trust disappears. That's the real damage, not failure, but the loss of confidence in your own word. Because when you don't trust yourself, nothing changes. You stop setting big goals. You stop taking risks. You stop believing you can win. And that's how people settle. Not because they want to, but because they don't believe they can do more. Now understand this deeply. Your brain is not designed for success. It's designed for survival and comfort. It wants to keep you safe, and safe means no risk, no discomfort, no pain. So every time you try to be disciplined, your brain fights back. You say, let's work. Your brain says, let's rest. You say, let's focus. Your brain says, check your phone. You say, let's improve. Your brain says, this is too hard. That voice in your head that tells you to delay, to relax, to quit. That's not weakness, that's biology. But here's the problem. Most people obey that voice. They treat it like truth. They feel tired, so they stop. They feel bored, so they quit. They feel uncomfortable, so they escape. And every time they listen, they strengthen that voice. They train their brain to control them. This is why discipline feels so hard. Because you're not just fighting laziness. You're fighting your natural programming. But here's the shift. The moment everything changes, discipline is not about feeling good. It's about acting despite feeling bad. The most successful people in the world, they don't feel more motivated than you. They don't wake up excited every day. They don't love the grind. They just don't negotiate with their feelings. When it's time to work, they work. When it's time to focus, they focus. When it's time to push, they push. No debate, no delay, no excuses. And that's what separates them. Not talent, but control. Because once you understand this, you stop waiting for motivation. You stop relying on emotions. You stop asking, do I feel like it? And you start telling yourself, it doesn't matter. That's power. Now imagine this, a version of you who does what they say every time. You say you'll wake up early. You do it. No snooze, no hesitation. You say you'll work. You sit down and execute. No distractions, no delays. You say you'll change. And this time, you actually follow through. What happens then? Everything changes. Because discipline doesn't just change your results. It changes your identity. You start seeing yourself differently. Not as someone who tries, but as someone who executes. Confidence builds, not from words, but from proof. Every small win becomes evidence. I can trust myself. I do what I say. I finish what I start. And that belief, it's dangerous in the best way. Because once you believe you can rely on yourself, you become unstoppable. You stop fearing hard work. You stop avoiding discomfort. You stop running from challenges. Instead, you walk into them because now you know something most people never learn. Discipline is freedom. It frees you from procrastination. It frees you from regret. It frees you from being controlled by your emotions. And for the first time, you're not reacting to life. You're controlling it. But here's the truth. This version of you, it doesn't come from watching videos. It doesn't come from motivation. It doesn't come from understanding this message. It comes from action. Repeated daily, relentless, and in the next part, you'll see exactly how to build it, step by step. No excuses, no shortcuts. Because if you don't take control now, everything you just heard will become another video you watched and forgot. Now it's time to stop thinking and start becoming. Because everything you've heard so far means nothing if you don't act on it. This is where most people fail, not in understanding, but in execution. So forget complicated systems, forget perfect plans. You don't need more information. You need structure and control. Step 1, kill negotiation. From this moment on, you stop negotiating with yourself. No more. I'll do it later. I'm not feeling it. I'll start tomorrow. That voice, it has controlled you long enough. You replace it with one rule. If you said it, you do it. No emotion, no debate, no delay, because discipline starts the moment excuses end. Step 2, start small, but non-negotiable. Most people try to change everything overnight. they fail, then they quit. You do the opposite. You pick one thing, one habit, one action, and you make it non-negotiable. It could be waking up at a fixed time, working for 1 hour daily, going to the gym, reading 10 pages. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is this. You do it every single day. No breaks, no exceptions, because you're not building a habit. You're building trust in yourself. Step 3, remove easy escapes. Be honest. Your biggest enemy isn't lack of time. It's distraction. Your phone, social media, endless scrolling, cheap dopamine, destroying your focus. So you take control. You don't rely on willpower. You change your environment. Delete the apps, block the websites, put your phone away, make distraction harder and discipline easier. Because if temptation is always in front of you, you will lose. Step 4, build a ruthless routine. Discipline loves structure. Chaos kills it. You don't decide every day. You design your day once and follow it. Wake up, work, train, learn, rest. Simple, clear, repeat. No overthinking. No wasted energy on decisions, just execution. Because successful people don't rely on willpower. They rely on systems. Step 5, do the hard thing first. Every day, there is one thing you're avoiding, one task that feels uncomfortable, one action you keep delaying. That's the one you do first, not later, not when you feel ready, now, because that's where growth is. That's where discipline is built. You train your mind to face resistance instead of escaping it, and over time, what once felt hard becomes normal. Step 6, track your word. This is critical. Every day, you ask yourself one question. Did I do what I said I would do? Not. Did I feel productive? Did I try my best? No. Did you execute? Yes or no? Because discipline is binary. You either did it or you didn't. And when you start tracking this, you become aware, you become honest, you become accountable. No more lying to yourself. Understand this clearly. This is not about motivation. It never was. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Motivation makes you start. Discipline makes you finish. And your future? It doesn't care how inspired you felt. It only reflects what you consistently did. Right now, there are 2 paths in front of you. The easy path, comfortable, familiar, instant gratification. And the hard path, painful, repetitive, uncomfortable. One leads to regret, the other leads to power. But here's the truth most people avoid. You are already choosing every single day. When you scroll instead of work, you choose the easy path. When you delay instead of act, you choose the easy path. When you quit instead of push, you choose the easy path. And those choices, they compound. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into years. And suddenly, you're living a life you never wanted. Not because you couldn't win, but because you didn't stay disciplined long enough. This is how dreams die. Not in failure, but in inconsistency. But the opposite is also true. Small disciplined actions also compound. One day of focus becomes a habit. One habit becomes a lifestyle. One lifestyle becomes a new identity. And that identity, it changes everything. Because once you become disciplined, you don't chase success. Success follows you. So here's the final truth, the one most people will ignore. Your future is not decided by what you want. It's decided by what you do. When you don't feel like doing anything, that's the moment that defines you. Not when you're motivated, not when it's easy, but when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's uncomfortable, and you do it anyway. That's discipline, and that's where your future is built. So the question is not, do you want to succeed? Everyone says yes. The real question is, will you stay disciplined when it stops feeling good? Because if you don't, nothing changes. But if you do, if you commit, if you execute, if you stop negotiating, then slowly, silently, powerfully, you become someone else, stronger, sharper, unstoppable. Not because life got easier, but because you got better. And one day, you'll look back at the version of you who kept delaying, who kept quitting, who kept choosing comfort, and you won't recognize that person anymore. Because now, you're disciplined, and that changed everything.